Hey guys, it's Tanya with Delilah Design, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to create a beautiful floral design on your painted furniture pieces, even if you don't know how to draw or paint flowers. So stay tuned. The Painterly Roses stamps have this, like this, you put this part first, you stamp this first, and then it has a more detailed rose design like this. So you do this and then you stamp this and it gives it the detail. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to use these to kind of, I start with the larger blossoms first and I kind of build out from there. And I've got a little, this is Arctic White and Angelic mixed together. Oops, you can't see it. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera down a little bit so we can focus on the piece of furniture more so. But this is Angelic and Arctic White mixed together. I'm going to use that as my kind of color blocking, because if I stamp directly onto this blue, I would have to keep in mind my design may not show up enough. So I want to color block first and then build it out from there. So what I'm going to do is kind of just, and it's loose, you don't have to be really, too worried about it, but I'm going to just kind of hold my stamp in the area that I think I want to start with. And then I'm just going to color block that area a little bit. And you just want to be really loose with it. And I just kind of make sure I have it big enough for the floral. Okay, so that is that one. And probably do another one right here, and you kind of want to think about your little leaves. So this is just to make your floral designs pop off of your background more. That's all this part is. So and it's just, you see, it's just really loose. It's not anything specific at all. So I will keep doing this whole process. Let's do another one. Let's see. I really love this one. It looks really pretty stamped on. So that one will go in there pretty well. And this is Kindest Regards down here. I don't know if you guys can see this subtle stamping. I will probably work in some florals there, which I want to kind of break that up a little bit, but I wanted some of the text to be in the background. Let's see. I love this one too. This little arched kind of like cherry blossoms in a way. Yeah, that's good. So I'll keep doing the same. This will help me decide on the piece also where I want the florals. Because it's a little bit tricky. You know, you have a lip and you have knobs and things like that. So this helps you kind of lay out your design and, you know, decide where you want to go with it. And then you can just start filling it in when you're ready. So I'm going to lay out the whole design on the front, and then I will be back with you guys for the second part where we start putting the stamps on. So stay tuned. I wanted to show you my setup for how I get out all my colors. So next step is we're going to start building up the color on the stamps. So I've blocked out a lot of the stamps with the white, and now we're going to add the color, which is where the fun begins, because you start to see the beautiful design emerge. So this is my setup. I get the paint colors that I think I want to use on these plastic. These are plastic cutting boards that you can find at Dollar Tree or anywhere like that, really. So I get my paint out here. I have my brayers ready. I'm also going to use some ink. I do need to get this ink put on an ink pad. Like this. So that way you just stamp it on. This is the easiest way to do it, but you're, you know, limited by the colors. So if I have the color in ink, I will use it. But then, you know, you have your stamps and things available. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'll be loading the paint onto the stamps and putting them on. And I just wanted to show you guys this part of the setup. Next part is we're going to start adding the color. I like to layer my stamps. So like we did the blocking, and now I will add a light pink. And then once that dries, I'll add some bright pink. So let's get going. I've got my stamps over here. You kind of need a lot of space for this, which you need to think about ahead of time. But I just, you know, I'm just adding the color on with the brayer. You probably won't be able to see it, but I'm just literally getting it on there. Okay, that's good. Okay guys, we're going to start building up our roses over here. I brought you in closer so you could see what I'm doing. I'm just adding this pretty mauvey pink to one of the under layer pieces, and I'm going to stamp this on here. That's good. Okay, I don't mind some of that pink showing through. I kind of want that, or that white. Might do this one actually. I might do that one in kind of a yellow rose kind of design. So I could have skipped this pink layer that I did before and done the yellow. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty. Something a little different. Yeah, those two are roses. Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting that this is supposed to go here anyway. So, but that's fine that it's pink. But that's good. That'll give me some fun dimension right there. We'll let this dry and then we'll go in with the other design pieces like these. See? And this one. So that's what starts to add the rose detail. Yep. So, okay, that's how we're going to do this layer. And I'll start kind of building up these other ones as well. And then I'll come back and show you guys how I do. We're going to use this section as kind of like our demo to show you how I build up the flowers. Give you some options to work with that. Okay, guys, I wanted to bring you in really close so I could show you a couple of things. You know, don't be afraid to use a paintbrush. So, as I said, I wanted to add some blue to this bird. And, you know, I've already stamped some other layers. So, I just went in here with a brush and started adding some blue because I want the white to still kind of show through in the background. But I love the way this looks, actually. I think it's really pretty. It looks kind of watercolor effect, and really happy with that. So don't be afraid to use a brush in addition to your stamps. You know, your stamps are just an artist tool, so you can use other art tools as well. Okay, and so I wanted to, you guys, I'm not kidding when I say you need a lot of materials and you need a lot of things to offload on, paint palettes, you need several brayers, your artist brushes. Yeah, it's kind of a lot, but it's worth it. You'll have a beautiful, unique design when you're done, though. So, okay, now I'm gonna add this. Gonna do yellow. So I'm just adding my yellow onto here. Normally when the way I try to organize it is when I start working with a certain color, like yellow, I will stamp the other yellow pieces that I need to do. You know, so I'll work with like 2, you know, colors at a time kind of thing. All right, let's see if we can line this up. Just pressing it. It's cool because it kind of clings and stays by itself a lot of times. Yeah, cute. I love the kind of variegated white and yellow together because, you know, when our color flower is only one solid color, right? So to me, it gives it a more kind of artistic feel. Is this the... can't tell. No, I don't think it is. It is sometimes hard to match up your stamps that you used. Looks like that one, but I guess it's not. I was just going to do that really quick. I do have green on a brayer right now, so because I started adding some of the leaves in. I think that's it. It's just not looking like it. No, it's not that one. Nope. Oh, yeah, I see it. I think it's this one. Okay. Let's see what it looks like to add the green over that lighter green. Oh yeah, that looks kind of cool, I think. I like that. And then of course you can just add, you know, the leaves. Just a solid green without the underlayer. It just adds more interest, I feel, when you kind of mix things up a little bit. And see, that one doesn't show up as much, but I'm gonna do a little, and I might go over it with a little white detail after this dries. Okay. And we're going to do couple more leaves down here. Let's see, yeah, right here and right here. The same leaf. Oops. Cool. This is so much fun. It really is. All right, so I will wash this one in a little bit. But let's go ahead and move on to our yellow rose here. Like I said, since we've started with the yellows, I'm going to start building up that detail in that one. Whoops, sorry, that was probably loud. No, that's the big one. This one? Yeah, like that. Okay. Let's see, I need a little more yellow on my brayer up here. I'm going to offload it. So I load my brayer and then I offload it a little bit. It's not going on solid like I want. It's kind of light. We'll see. Okay. So this one's kind of yellow on yellow. Hopefully it'll show up enough. on these curved areas, just make sure you know, press your design down into all the spots really well. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Ooh, I like it. Okay guys, we're back. Let's add some more detail to these roses. I already started on this one a little bit, but I'm going to do the same thing to this one. So I will demonstrate. It's right now kind of like a mauvey, rosy, lighter pink. So I'm going to add like a bright fuchsia pink over it. It's kind of a subtle difference, but it does build up the color design a bit. I'm going to take this off of here. It's nice having these on the cut up pieces of thin mount, but sometimes it gets in your way when you have little ridges and things. Okay, so I want to get a little more detail over here. Okay, so we'll let that dry. And I'm going to do the same thing here that I'm going to do on this one. So I've already added a little of the bright fuchsia over this one. And right now I'm going to add a little more dimension to it by adding a light pink over the top of that. Well, this one will be a little bit different because it comes with like a third layer piece, and that'll help to add some interest to it. This one I'll just go back over it with the same stamp, and I'll use this light pink. Oh yeah, pretty. Oh, and see, I did add a lighter yellow, pale yellow down here to this one. And I like the way that looks. So yeah, that looks much better. Okay, so I'm almost complete with this makeover. I wanted just to update you guys and give you some tips about a couple of things. So let me move out of the way. Let's see. So to give your piece a more hand-painted look, I like to add some, left it over here, hold on. I like to add some little detail inside the middle of the flower. And I have put some grass IOD ink on an ink pad, and I'm going to be using this for the leaves. But for now, I'm just using an artist brush, and I'm literally just kind of tapping randomly, just real loosely in the middle of the little flowers to give them some dimension. And some of them I have used black, like these over here. I'll bring you guys in closer because you may not be able to see, but you just literally do it very haphazardly, and you want it to look kind of, you know, abstract. And I think all of the other ones have it, except maybe these down here. But you can also use paint for this. You can use just, like I said, I use black here. I put a little yellow in the middle here, and then I put a little black dot in the middle. I do different things to kind of give it a artistic look. So, okay, so that's a couple of things. The other thing is that, okay, so I like using the ink pads to apply the leaves. So I have my little leaf here on this thin mount that I cut up, and you just press it in. This color is called Grass. It's IOD ink. And I've just added it to the IOD ink pads. These are awesome. It makes stamping so much easier. So this is what they look like. But you just apply the paint, the ink on there, and then you just spread it out. But yeah, they're really good. Okay, so let's get some leaves added in here. I already have some, but I decided to add some more. The ink takes longer to dry too, just FYI. Okay. If you want a darker leaf, you could use paint. Also, you could stamp with white first, and then that way your color would pop a little more. But I'm fine with that subtle leaf color. So that's all I'm going to do right there. Okay, so the other thing that I did is that I sanded this back some because I wanted it to be a little more subtle because there's a lot going on. So I already sanded it some, and I like that. It softened the colors a little bit. And I'm also going to do something else. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to try it. I've just got some paint. This color is Peacock by Couture. I've just got it on this palette, and I'm going to I put a lot of water on it. And I'm going to add some up here just to kind of get some maybe drips. Okay, so I've got my misting bottle. Just see how that looks. And while that is wet, I'm going to add a little more at the top because I like it. So far I can tell I like it. It adds a kind of watercolor effect to your flowers. So I think that's pretty. So of course you could totally not do this part, but yeah, I think that's pretty. I like that. So I'll probably definitely do that on the other side also. And just add it in spots where you want more. Yeah, I really like that. And I'll bring you guys in close, like I said, in the next segment so you can kind of see. Okay, a couple tips. This little stamp, I love this little stamp. It's so helpful in making little designs like here. So it will fill in. I kind of use this one to fill in different areas where I feel like it needs some kind of subtle design. So I love this one. This one is really good. Let's see if I did have the stamp out here, but I don't see it now. So I could show you which one. Let me grab one. Mine are so used, you won't be able to tell what they look like. Okay, so this is the Birds, Branches, and Blossoms stamp. And I've used that primarily. I did use the Painterly Roses also. Okay, so there's a glare, but it's this one right here. I love that one. This is the bird that's in the middle, and this is the other bird that I've used. So I've only used these two birds. There are other stamps that have birds, but I stuck to this one. See this one here. And then these little guys. But yeah, I've used all of these actually. So this is a really great stamp set to have. It's very useful. And like I said, it combines really well with the Painterly Roses. And I have the roses on this side. I wish I would have put more over here, but I didn't. But anyway, it works out, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I have added some other layers. Like I added this little text down here. I used this stamp, I think. Oh gosh, I don't know what stamp set this is from. I'll put it in my blog post. But that's this little text here and here and here. Oh, and this little stamp too is very useful at kind of just adding and filling in some little spots. I use that one quite a lot. And then also I used it down here to make like the little blossoms off of the branches, and I love the way that looks too. So in the next part, I will give you guys a closer sneak peek so you can see the design more up close and personal.